What's going on? That doesn't usually happen.
It says it's live. Meeting is now live.
Oh, well, hi, everybody. How's everybody tonight? This is our web series on Facebook Live with the She Did It community. And every Wednesday, come here at 7 p.m. And this is where we'll have conversations with women and their success to inspire and motivate you to take the leap of faith and start or grow your own business. So She Did It is a movement. And it was created by Karine Aristide. And her mission and the mission of the group is to help female entrepreneur to connect and grow both personally and professionally. So today I'm really excited to have this wonderful lady, Shannon Hinderberger from the Shannon Lee Strategy. So Shannon, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a digital marketing coach who teaches small business owners how to grow their business using simple digital marketing strategies so they're less overwhelmed, get results, save time, and make money. And I have been in digital marketing since 1998. So I've been in this space a really long time. So my goal isn't a revenue goal. My goal is to impact women's lives, make it simpler, because some of us are moms, some of us are running a household, and we're also running a business. And so when we can simplify things and make an impact, it's a win-win for our families and ourselves.
Yes, absolutely. Wow, since 1998. Oh my God, you must have gone through so many changes. You must have seen so many changes.
Yes. And the reason why I love digital marketing has changed so much. So I'm originally from the Midwest. I'm from the United States. I grew up in Omaha, Nebraska, and I moved to Oregon in 2004. So I live in Central Oregon, which is right in the smack dab in the middle of the state. And I have a broadcasting degree that I used for a whole 9 months. And so one day I was picking up the mail in the lobby, and a gentleman said, "Oh, are you new?" And I was like, "No, I've been here for 2 years." And because I interned there and then I got a full-time job. They loved me so much that they found me a job or created a job for me. And he said, "What do you do?" And he said he ran an interactive division. And I said, "Oh, I'm a news producer." So at that time I was a news producer for a local TV station. And he said, "I'm looking for a news producer. Would you want to
Oh,
come work for me?" And I said, "How much does it pay? What are the hours?" Because in television, the hours are not the greatest. And I was 22 years old. And when you're 22, all you can think about is money or
yeah.
being able to pay your bills. And so the hours were better. The money was better. And I believe, the second or third hire for that division of the company. And I
Wow.
worked for them. I was an interactive content writer. So I worked for that company for 6 years. And the tech boom happened in 2002, if you remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, After 9/11, the tech boom happened, and they consolidated everything to Atlanta, Georgia. And I decided that I did not want to move to Atlanta, Georgia. I was given the option. So I stayed in Omaha, Nebraska, and decided to go into PR and marketing. And PR and marketing at that time was shifting to be more interactive. So the company that hired me didn't have a website. So I built a website for them. We were taking online donations, and then I ended up moving to Oregon around that time too. And every job since then, I was in corporate marketing. I had some sort of like interactive digital marketing role. So when Facebook and Twitter came out in 2004 and 2006, I helped the companies I work for get those on those platforms. And then 3.5 years ago, I went on my own. And so I have been a digital marketing strategist. And then 3 years ago, I started doing digital marketing coaching. So I work one-on-one and I work in a group setting. So I have a group that opens
Wow.
twice a year, and then I work one-on-one with individuals. And my one-on-one practice is full right now till the end of March. So
Oh, wow.
since the pandemic, everybody needs to learn how to do it themselves.
Mhm.
I really fill a void there.
And you have two groups a year that consistently wow, that's
Yes.
incredible.
And so the two groups only take 20 people. One's in March and one's in September. And there's an application process, and it's nice to see that grow, because I only started that 2 years ago, and now people will start asking me a few months beforehand. Like, they'll see me on my social networks and in networking groups talking about these things, and I really simplify it down, and they're just like, I need that, but they've missed the window for the group. So it was the beginning of this month, I was getting pinged like, hey, are you really meeting in March? And so it's just a fun group of women that help one another. The accountability is great,
Wow.
and we meet weekly for 20 weeks.
Wow, I think a lot of entrepreneur or a lot of people maybe watching right now would love to have people lined up to for their next courses and things like that. So, but tell me, what was the key driving force for you to make the jump to being an entrepreneur, to start this like 3.5 years ago?
So 4 years ago, or almost 5 years ago, I was in hospitality. I was a director of marketing and sales for a hotel, a resort, a convention center. And I was really burned out, and I was working 60 hours a week, not seeing my family. And my husband just said, the money's not worth it. And he has a really good job. And he said, you should go work part-time or for yourself. And so I just started researching digital marketing agencies in my area. And one had been after me consistently and said, I have a part-time position. You only have to work 8 to noon, Monday through Friday, flexible hours. And it was in the hospitality, food and beverage industry. So I went and worked there for a few months, and I really liked it. But then the clients that I worked with through the agency were looking to hire people as well. And so one of them had said, hey, come work for my company. And I had a not so good feeling about it. And I was like, I don't know. I don't think this is, I do want to work full time, but I want to be really choosy. But was the industry I really wanted to work in. And they sweet talked me into it, and I should have followed my gut. And 6 months later, I didn't have a job.
Oh,
So because of that, that person that I worked for, that I moved to that other job, that digital marketing agency, that part-time one where I worked only 4 hours a day, he came back to me and he said, you have the entrepreneurial spirit, and I know you could totally go out on your own and do your own thing. Here are 2 of my clients that I'm going to give you. So he
wow.
gave me 2 clients to work on their digital marketing. And then I started putting myself out there, because a lot of us digital marketers are not putting ourselves out there. And a lot of marketers, we're behind the scenes propping other people up, but we know how to do it, but we're not doing it for ourselves. And so he had said, I feel if you started portraying yourself as an authority in online marketing and digital marketing, you would be full in no time with your digital marketing consultant practice. And so I started to do that about 9 months later. And here I am today, like coaching women, and I'm very selective about my strategy clients. I still take strategy clients, but right now I haven't taken a new client in several months, because I really want to grow the coaching aspect. And I know there's women out there that I can help, because I have helped so many women over the last 3.5 years.
Wow, that's an amazing story. So entrepreneurship sort of fell on your
Yep.
lap. You were not looking for it in originally. You were not really looking for that, but then I guess when it did, it really made you want to go out there and, like you say, put yourself out there. So how did you feel at that point?
Well, when I lost my job, it was over personality conflicts. The owner of the company and I had different vision, but there was a boss between us, and the boss between us loved me, but he answers ultimately to the owner of the company. How did I feel? I really felt when I walked away that I wasn't good at marketing. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to go be a barista at Starbucks. And when I told the gentleman who I worked with right before that job, who hired me part-time, he's like, you can do this. I know you can do this. I will be your mentor. You call me if you have any questions. Here's 2 clients of mine that I was working on them before I left, and they really liked working with me. And so he said, these 2 clients love you. Go ahead and go off with these clients. And so those 2 clients became 4 clients. And I think by the end of that first 12 months of being an entrepreneur, I had already replaced my income by
Wow.
double from my
Wow.
from my job. So I mean, I was definitely scared to not have a regular paycheck, not have in the United States health insurance is a big thing. I was
Mhm.
really scared that I wouldn't have all those things, but I just found I was never really that goal driven before. And I found out I was really a goal driven person, like overnight, like, okay, this is my thing. I can make whatever I want. I can stand out and do whatever I want. And I'm the master of my own domain, not anybody else. So
Wow, it sounds like your life changed and yourself, you changed like overnight. So how would you right now define success, and what is the key ingredient to your success right now?
I don't see success as money. I see success as helping people. And so I set a goal last year that I would help 20 women. And my sales coach, so I have a coach myself, she told me, you need to set that goal higher. I know you can do it. So I have a goal this year to help 40 women in my group coaching and like 100 women total.
Like for
Because I,
2021?
yeah, for 2021. Did I say 2020? Oh my goodness. So that also the other goal that I have is a lot of people want to be in the group coaching, but it might be full. I'm working on making a digital course, and I'm also working on some other things that people can do on their own, so that I can spread my information and it can get to everybody, and it's accessible to everybody. So success to me isn't the bank account. Success to me is referrals. Success to me is going to be I get an inquiry every day basically through my website, and that wasn't happening 3 years ago. In fact, it didn't start happening until about 6 months ago. So people are referring people business to me. One of the affirmations I say is my clients love me and tell everyone. And that's literally something I say every day before I start my day, along with a few other things. And it's happening. So don't give up. Patience is key.
Mhm.
So that's what I feel has made me successful.
And also having the right mindset as well, like being positive and also having those affirmation. I think sometimes, if we tell ourselves, oh, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, and that's what gets us in trouble. But if you're telling yourself that, hey, my client loves me, they love me, and they're going to tell everyone, like, that's brilliant. That is really a good, and it makes you feel good too when you say those words as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, so those are great. So what and so how do you know you're successful with respect to your numbers and all this? So I think, I guess, for you, matrix would be the your clients. So you have five
Yeah.
clients.
I get some amazing testimonials. I also have with my one-on-one coaching, they buy a minimum of 16 weeks with me, and some will extend. I have one person that extended a year out, and then another one that just extended a year. They're just like, I need you in my court. I need you to keep me accountable. I need you to keep me on track. Let's move on to the next goal. That's another thing. And then they tell people when somebody's done working with me, I ask for a testimonial, and I get a testimonial 90% of the time.
Mhm.
And it's just amazing to see, like, I went from this to this. I had one person come back to me saying that they filled up they teach infant massage, and they had filled up their infant massage in-person course. And then they moved their infant massage course to online, and people were buying it. And it
Wow.
was because she had been putting herself out there as that expert, making sure that she was reaching those right people. And so seeing that I helped them and they're getting the results, and seeing the results as in cash or clients, by being consistent, it just like fills my heart.
Yes, I would definitely can see that. And also, knowing that you made a difference in their lives, in their income, in their business, because that's all what we thrive to do. So do you believe there is a winning formula for becoming a successful entrepreneur, and if so, what is yours?
So mine has always been, and I always teach my digital marketing coaching clients this, it is content. So knowing exactly what people want to hear from you, when it comes to your online presence or your website. Consistency, so doing it on a regular basis. And that doesn't mean posting. It kind of means posting on social, but it also means like just showing up consistently, reminding people what you do, staying top of mind, and then confidence. You need to have confidence. And a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with that confidence mindset stuff. And the best thing somebody told me is you have to just be one step ahead of whom you're working with. You don't have to know all the answers right away, but you just have to be one step ahead. I work with a lovely personal stylist off the East Coast, and she struggled with that for a long time. Like, you got to be in the mindset that you're the expert at getting dressed. And you're going to help them get dressed every day. They don't know how to get dressed. They're asking you. So one step ahead.
One step ahead. Oh, I love that. That's a great, things that we can say to ourselves is one step ahead. I like that.
Just be one step ahead.
Exactly. So then, what would you advise the female entrepreneurs that are considering, making the jump to becoming an entrepreneur, especially to this community that she did it, like they're starting out, they want to become entrepreneur, or they are entrepreneur, they want to go to the next level or next step?
So one of the things I say when you're first starting out, so for me, I kind of did it the way you shouldn't do it. I lost a job. I actually had my husband has had a good job, and he just said, these things happen. And he had lost jobs before in our marriage. We've been married 15 years, and it was the first time that happened to me. And so I had that partner, but a lot of people that don't have that partner that really want to take that step into being an entrepreneur, I would say to have like 4 months of savings saved so you can make that jump and make it happen. But you also need to have a plan. You also need to put yourself out there is the other thing. I sat for 9 months not wanting to do that and put myself out there. And that mentor of mine said, you need to put yourself out there. You need to go to networking events. You need to, hey, I can speak, like kind of like I'm doing now. A year and a half ago, I wasn't doing that. But he said, baby step it. Your first goal is to just really put yourself out there on social media, make some videos. So I started making a weekly video or going live on Facebook or Instagram, because I am a social media expert and digital marketing expert. So I would give tips every week that people would ask me. At that time, when I first started out, everybody was asking me about Instagram. And for some reason, it's back to Instagram. Everybody wants to know all these Instagram things.
Okay.
And so I would just go and answer those live. I would make videos about them, and I would post it every week on all my social channels, Twitter, LinkedIn. I don't know if they have LinkedIn in Canada.
Yeah,
that's something I should know.
Yeah. Yeah, LinkedIn is global. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, is that in Canada? Facebook, Instagram, make sure that I was putting it out there. The messaging was consistent, that I was showing up at networking events, that I had my business cards, that I was available to speak. My first speaking engagement was 2 years ago this month, and it was a nutritionist asking me to speak to her nutritionist group, who they were consultants themselves, so they were nutritionists that did virtual, and it wasn't the greatest, but guess what? It's only up from there. So
exactly,
just putting yourself out there is key.
I think so. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We get so bogged down by, sometimes admin stuff, or starting, I need to have my website. I need to have this before I go out there. I need to have this before I go out there. But sometimes, just going out there without those things, as long as you have a product, you have maybe a few clients and a way for them to pay you, that's all you need at the beginning, and just put yourself out there, right?
Yes, that's exactly. Yep, you're right.
So with all these, and it sounds like you had some really good support with your husband. He's the one that says, money doesn't matter. So it sounds like you guys are on the same wavelength, and that's so important.
Yeah, my husband, he works for a tech company, and he was working from home. And then when I started working from home, I was like, I don't know if this is going to work, but we made it work. But then last March, now our kids are home. So now but my kids go back to school. One goes back to school next week full time. And then in 2 weeks, the other one goes back every other day. So, but we've been all home the last year with one another. And I was apprehensive in the beginning, like, I don't know if working from home with you is going to work because we're very different people. So now I'm to the point where I'm finally going to get an office outside.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Congratulations. That's another little step ahead.
Yep. Yeah. Then I have an assistant that started helping me about 2 years ago. She's more of an assistant. She's more of a partner in my strategy business with me. And so I just was like, I just said to her recently, like, you are now like the manager, social media manager for my company. So you are in charge of all
Nice.
these people. I'm just the high level person and I will take care of the operations so I can work on my coaching. And
Oh,
so that took, that was a dream that I had 2.5 years ago. And I can finally hand the reins over. So
nice. Oh, that's nice, especially when you can trust somebody like that.
yes.
And, like she's been with you for 2 years and now like she knows you inside out, now how you do things. So that's just going to progress that way, like naturally. So that's
Yep.
awesome. So you've had a great success throughout. This sounds wonderful. But so tell me about maybe some, share some of your failures and the best lessons you've learned from them.
I think the best lessons I've learned from some of my failures are just not putting myself out there. And the other thing, I'm not a perfectionist, but I wanted everything to be perfect and all at one time. And I just kind of learned that um, it's a slow going process that you need to be patient, but not like overwhelm, and things won't happen overnight, but you just have to baby step into it. I think with my strategy clients in the beginning, some failures I had were just not having the right contracts in place. So somebody could just easily say, yeah, I don't want, after I've done like 2 months of work and say, we've had an agreement that this is 6 months, like pulling away and saying, oh, no, I don't want to do this anymore, and not giving it the amount of time. So now when somebody works with me, I make sure that I, have payment. I have a process of flow, like payments in place and a contract and a clear timeline. In the beginning, I wasn't very clear. So I failed with some of that in the beginning, and having processes in place. I actually learned that, so I have a program that does all of my operations, and I was doing it in all these different places. And once I did that, I wasn't losing my leads. I would forget to call people back, would be one thing. Somebody would call me and then I wouldn't have a place to remind them. And so I finally 2 years ago invested in a system that will remind me, that will keep track of everything. We'll do the billing, can send brochures. So a lot of operational stuff I failed at. I was great at the marketing, but when it came to running the operations of my business, I needed to find the support for that.
Yeah. And sometimes that's, as a solopreneur, that's the thing that, it bugs us down, but we have to know, we have to learn how to do it for ourselves to then be able to select the right system or even person that's going to help us with that. But, yeah, it's painful at the beginning because you have to set it all up, but then being able to hand it off and, and then, and doing the things that you love. But it sounds like your failures or the thing, your lessons
Yeah.
needed to be there for you to move forward, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, that's great. So tell us then, what do you think that successful female entrepreneurs have in common?
They're goal driven
Hmm.
and they
Yeah.
don't want to give up, and they're willing to. The other thing was, uh, they're willing to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, I was like, I took a digital course on Amazon. Was one of the first things I did was how to sell on Amazon. And what I learned was, whoa, I can watch this and I have actionable steps to help me get to the next thing. And then I just remember telling my husband, because he did it too with me, because he was like, I want to learn how to do this, because the company he worked for was stepping into that role of
Mm-hmm.
possibly putting products on Amazon. That asking for help and having a support system is also going to be key. And to spend the money on the right people and not to take shortcuts.
Mm-hmm.
So, because when you spend the money on the right people, it comes back. That money like comes back to you 10 times almost. So
Yes. Oh, that's so true. So you have to be really picky and really, you have to know what you want, what you are all about. It all starts with yourself, right? And then, but definitely, yeah, one thing that female entrepreneurs are is definitely resistant or persistent.
yep.
Yeah. So, and you have to be. And so, how about how do you develop your key partnerships then?
So I am part of a few networking groups, and those are usually the first places I go for referrals. If I need a referral for a sales coach, or a last week I needed a referral for a client on somebody that does Facebook ads, I just go to my networking groups first because those women are trusted
Mm,
folks. Then and they've never let me down, and so I go there and ask like, "Hey, I need help with this. Who can help me?" I am part of Fem City. It's a global network, and it's amazing. And that's usually the first place I go is, hey, I need the help with this. Who can help me? I always hire within those if I'm going to get a coach or I hired an intuitive eating coach. And she's also an intuitive business coach too. So part of me hiring her was like, help me with my intuition.
mm,
Help me better in the long run, I want to live to be 100 years old. So how do I make that happen? Health wise. And so then turns out she's a business coach. And I found her from my networking group. So always ask your trusted female entrepreneur friends for referrals because they know best. They're not just going to like send you somebody that they don't, they're going to send you somebody tried and true.
yes. Yeah. And that is so important to have those communities, those partnerships. Even in the She Did It community and our instigator, Kedin Edisted, like she's awesome. She loves to support everybody and she wants us to support each other. And it's such a great community. I've met so many people and oh, these communities are really, really good for our businesses, for referrals, and to support each other. So that's great to hear. That's awesome. And so let's talk a little bit about money. So how did you get funded to get started? It's all I guess you did say at the beginning that you didn't really struggle with this because it just happened.
Well, I was fortunate enough that my former employer was like, here's two clients. You already know how to work with them. You worked with them, and it was a little seed money to get up and running and things like that. I didn't, as a digital marketing person, we don't have a lot of overhead. It's basically the computer, the light,
Yes.
the microphone, and I didn't have a ton of overhead. I have about I had to switch banks recently, and so I have about $500 in recurring expenses each month that I had on auto pay.
Okay.
And I audited those, like which ones don't I need, which ones do I need. But there are things like reporting tools, project management software. I have a software that manages my leads and pipelines and payments and brochures and things like that. It's called Honeybook. It's amazing. I don't
Okay.
think they have it in the camp. I'm not sure there is a Canadian version of it, but it does everything for my business. So the overhead is low.
Mhm.
I am out of my house, so I don't have an office space. But my husband looked into doing Amazon, selling on Amazon. And so that was about a $10,000 investment when we had to do that. And we
Wow.
pulled from our savings to do it. And we did make all of the money back and then some, but then we decided like, we don't want to do this. We didn't want to do it. That's not where our interests lie.
Oh, your passion. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like I can go source things from China and white label them, my own brand. I would have rather come up with my own product and done all
Mm.
that. Because what happens on Amazon is people copy you and things. So,
Yeah.
anyways, that actually I could have talked about failures there. It really wasn't a failure because we made all the money back and then some, but it was a whoa, like you could do this, but there's a lot of things you have to do. But with that, we had to pull out of our savings to do it, but it wasn't all at once. It
Yeah.
was over like several months we had to do it.
Okay.
So make sure you have savings if you want to do something.
Yeah, and I guess it's a great learning experience as well, though. But yeah, sometimes there's things we invest in that, oh, maybe that was not such a good
Yeah,
thing.
my sales coach has been the best investment that I've ever
Oh,
made.
That's awesome. Oh yeah, we all need coaching. I'm a coach myself too, but not, so, and I have a business coach that, is amazing, and so we need support like that as well, especially when we're working by ourselves all day and starting with us with an assistant, but we need that support. We need some people cheering us on, or even, say, okay, you can do this, push a little push, or giving you our one step, go that one step ahead.
Yeah.
I like that.
Say one
So
step ahead.
one step ahead. Well, Shannon, this has been awesome. I really enjoyed hearing your story. This is really good. It looks like you're very passionate about what you do, and your heart is in your clients, and I think that's the key. And so congratulations. This is great. So do you have some parting words for us, and or also tell the world, tell us, tell the community how they can connect with you?
So you can connect to me, and I'm actually in the community. And it's been one of my goals this month to really start being active in Facebook groups like these. So I might be popping in here and there, posting and following your rules, of course. But you can follow me on Instagram at Shannon Lee Strategy. I have an amazing Facebook group called the Simplified Squad. And we basically, myself and other social media strategists are in there. We basically, if you have a question about digital marketing or social media, we will help you. We have, today we had a drop your link and we'll all follow each other on Instagram. We had an Instagram train going. And so Simplified Squad is the name of the group. And then next month, I'm having a video challenge. So if anybody is challenged with video, I have an easy way for you to take part. It's the Standout on Video Bootcamp, and I can drop the links below if that's okay after I
Yes,
implement and do
absolutely.
it. Yep. And so basically it's 3 days of free training and then 28 days of video ideas. And it will, if you're new to video, it gives you a way to get started with that. If you are doing things like Instagram stories or Facebook stories, but you want to take it to the next level and do something like Reels and TikTok, we'll talk about that. Or if you just want to create videos that you can post on LinkedIn and YouTube, we'll talk about that too. So it's basically like a challenge for all levels to get consistent and confident with video and making that content. Those 3 things I always teach.
Wow, that sounds awesome. I might just join the challenge. And
Yep, I'll drop the link below.
Yes, drop the link below. And at She Did It, we don't have any rules, so you can do whatever you want, and drop your links, drop your courses, drop your your information, how to connect with you. It has been a pleasure, Shannon.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be able to come in and speak to. I don't get to speak to Canadians that often, so it's like one of my goals is to get help serve some Canadian women. So, and we're also today in America, a lot of us are happy we had our inauguration. So, and I've had so many of my Canadian friends reach out today and say, "How are you guys doing?" I'm like, "We're great." So
yes. Oh yeah, we've been watching, and so I'm so happy you're happy, because this was a great day. And I look forward to seeing you more on this platform and other platforms. So best of luck with everything, Shannon. Thank you so
much. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great night.
Good night, everybody. Meet us again next week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Thanks.